Hello and welcome to my nook. This is Kimberly. So happy you decided to stop by today for this flip through of a tall journal. I want to tell you a funny story about this flower. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me post this flower, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago maybe. And I said, hey, what can I do with it? It's so pretty, but I don't know what to do with it. And it was just the flower. And I got some great ideas back, and people really liked it. Some people thought it looked very real, like a corsage. And I then started to make this cover, and the flower was laying over here to the left of my craft space. And I kept thinking, how can I decorate this cover? And I came across this beautiful pink lace in my collection. It's just gorgeous, vintage, very sheer, and then completely net. And it looks like it was cut out of a garment, maybe a slip or the bottom of a dress. And so I thought, oh, how beautiful. And I found just the right pink cover, sort of dusty pink. And this is from Tailor-Made Journals. And I still didn't know what to do. It looked kind of plain with only this beautiful lace. I mean, I like plain, but I know that probably it was needing a little bit more. You know how that goes. It's a hunch. And still this flower is laying over to the left, and I am not seeing it. And then one day, the light bulb goes off, and I realize, oh my gosh, this would look beautiful on here. And indeed, I think it does. So I was thrilled. And then the next question was, how do I make it so it can come off? Because it's very dense, and it would be pretty impossible to really open the journal in any capacity for a good viewing or writing. So I thought about it a little bit, and I came up with a paperclip idea, which hopefully will slide off easily. Since I'm on camera with you, though, it probably will not. Let's see. Okay, it really is easy. And there it is. And I took, it turns out it was a Tim Holtz cardboard circle that was just the right size. So I used that, and then when I decided to put it on the cover, and I knew I had to, you know, people would see the bottom when they took it out, I covered it with, I have an antique quilt that's extremely old, like 1850s era, and the fabric that was quilted on top is completely worn away, so it's totally unusable and really unattractive, and it's red and green on white. But all the white areas are beautifully quilted, so I'm cutting them up and I'm using them for different covers and things of that nature. I'm quite excited. I'll be showing you some of that in the not too distant future now that we have winter on the horizon. And so that's what I did, and it turned out really well. So the way that I made this flower, it was extremely white, stark white, and I sprayed it with mica. I put on coffee dye with a sponge, and then I put little sparkles with that sort of gluey, sparkly stuff that comes in a bottle. And then I added a netting with little gold dots back here. And then I looped around a gradiated sari silk ribbon. And voila. So if you do buy this journal, because it is available, you could put it on anything. You could use it anywhere you want. But I also have this sari on here, which you could tie another way and use it like that. It's entirely up to you. So let's open this up. Whoops. I kept it really long so that you could decide if you wanted to cut the ends off or not. And then this is a better look at the lace. Isn't it beautiful? It's really, really a pretty color. It's a very pale but clearly pink. And it's in really good condition. There's a little darkness here and there, but for the most part, it's beautiful. 1930s for sure. And I just love the little cherry, or little posy. Very pretty. And then, as I said, tailor-made, and also tailor-made inside. So it's quite a solid cover. All right, so the majority of the papers in here, of the page papers, are from Souvenir de la France on Etsy. Beautiful kit. She put a picture of it up on Instagram, and I went and bought it immediately, and it started me on this journal. So check her out. And then the other pages are mostly from my own collection, copies of originals for the most part. There's a few, couple Ruby and Pearl, and Rachel, Roxy Creations page probably. And then most of the ephemera is from Chapter 1 papers, their new kit called Ritzy, of which this is one, and Ruby and Pearl, and then some things that I've made or augmented in a way. So I will put those names down in the description box below. This is a vintage onion skin paper, so that alone makes it cool, and you can see the watermark on here. Just love it. I have a whole bunch, so I'm really starting to use it. I didn't realize how valuable onion skin, vintage, real, the original onion skin was, and when I found that out, I went through my garage and I found these boxes I knew were in there. So it's really quite sturdy. It's not flimsy, and it's not that rougher kind of cobbly one that doesn't take print very well. It's really the original stuff that's just lovely. And this is actually from my pressing flowers. When I pressed them, they actually left this coloring on the paper that I had pressed them on, which was, I think, freezer paper. And so I made copies of it on different types of paper, and this parchment is what I chose to use here. And then there's washi tape, and all the washi tapes are from Chapter 1 papers, and the room to write. I wouldn't write on here because it's really quite see-through, but I thought, what a beautiful beginning. Flowerful, and it sort of reminded me of this flower. I added this date down here, which I think looks really pretty, and this embossed paper. This is lace. It's a different sort of lace. And papers. This is from Chapter 1 and Rachel. This is one of my own papers. It's such a pretty color. I hope you can tell. It's a butterscotch color. And from the Ritz kit, and I think this is from an older kit, maybe 2 kits ago or so. And I wanted to show you something fun. This lace is so close to this lace. This lace is printed on the printable, but you can see how it's outline stitched in the shape of it. And then the other side is over here, so you can see the shape. And look how this matches. It's the same flower. Can you tell? It's the same flower. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I just love it so much. I just thought that was the most fun thing. So I kind of gathered it here on this wonderful printable from Ruby and Pearl. And then I cut this out on top. And I thought it was sweet. This is from the Souvenir de la France kit. This is the page I showed on Instagram from Joyous Crafting on Ko-fi. And I trimmed the white edge from Ruby and Pearl XO. And this is a wonderful Bon Marche label from Chapter 1 papers. Coffee dyed this lace and added it there. And this is a wraparound from the other side, but I left it open so that it could be a tuck spot if you desired. And it is a reproduction fabric from the very early 1800s. And I wanted to pick up the blue of this wonderful French print. I thought that was a pretty combination. And this is a Tracy Fox button card, coffee dyed paper, and Oboe Marsh from the Ritz. And this is Ruby and Pearl XO. This is a piece of silk velvet, which I'll show you a bigger chunk further along in the book. And I wanted to pick up the green in this pretty paper from Rachel. And this is from Ruby and Pearl XO. And again, even though this is sort of a purpley color, I just thought it looked beautiful with that. There's purple in the trees. Just, oh my gosh, I love the combination. And this is one of my original receipts from Toulouse. This is a napkin that I glued onto here, and it was more aqua. And when I glued it on this sort of yellow paper, creamy, love the creamy color, it became this green. So it was a total shock. And I think it's beautiful. And then this is a pretty hard to find in the U.S. cotton square that I cut out and glued down. Originally I had it paper clipped so you could feel its finery, but I like how it lent itself to this shape. It's by Rose and Hubble, and if you are in England, you probably are very familiar with Rose and Hubble, or all of the UK, but it's rare here to be able to purchase that, but I was able to get some, and it's just a very fine cotton, very fine threads, and very white, and it almost feels like silk. It's so fine. It's really a high quality cotton and just beautiful. So I was happy to be able to put it on this page, and I love how the yellows in here get picked up with the golds and the yellows in here. And this is a piece of washi tape that I put on a sticker material from chapter 1, again picking up the aqua. Love this from Ruby and Pearl. I don't remember where this came from, probably Ruby and Pearl or chapter 1. And then this pretty card came from Screech Owl on Etsy. She's in South America. So I found this page to be quite attractive. These are two different prints from Rock and Bella, and a piece of fabric I took off of another journal because I thought it really went well with this look. And it wraps around. This lace is very much the same lace as these, and I just had a little snippet. This is Ruby and Pearl. This is from my own collection. Again, printed on the beautiful onion skin paper. Isn't that a gorgeous handwriting? Look at that. 1887. Added a piece of lace. This is a book page from Ruby and Pearl. And this is another lace that I added. I hope you can see it. I just think it blends in so beautifully with this wonderful printable. I think it's from Roxy Creations. And I actually had to put some distress ink on it to make it show up. But they're very delicate. They're little leaves. And it's very old, and I just think it's so in rhyme with what's going on here. And then this is a one sheet that I ripped in half to make a tuck and a pocket. This is an original, or a true piece of French fabric that I've had for a long time. And this is a receipt from Sam Poole and Chapter 1 papers. This is also from Ruby and Pearl. And it just, the greens went so well. This is Roxy, a label from chapter 1. Put more washi from chapter 1 up here. And this is another page from Souvenir de la France. And then a couple of really cute tags from chapter 1's new kit. And I put a piece of cotton striping on there, which the French love their striping, as do I. So, yeah. And then these are both from Jacqueline at Souvenir de la France, and I added this blue here, which picks up the blue coming up. This is the center of the journal. I left the ties in a bow, and I left them long in case the person who gets it wants to add something to the ends. And this is Marie Antoinette, who I cut out and put onto this ephemera card in the Ritz kit, and then added a piece of washi from chapter 1. So you could write on here, you could put a picture here, or you could glue it down part way and have a tuck. And then coffee dyed some muslin. And I thought that Marie would probably like squabs on casserole, right? Squabs are little birds. This is another piece of that incredible cotton, very sheer. I mean, it's so silk-like, you definitely have to put something under it if you're going to wear it. You can see the typing under it. That's how sheer it is. But I wanted you to be able to feel it, so I did not sew it all the way down. And this is a letter that I got from Monahan Papers that I made a copy of for you. And it opens up to another printable inside from Ruby and Pearl. And it just slips in there. And the blue are what drew my attention. I love these pages. There's not a lot that needed to happen. This is a piece of lace down here and another piece of lace on top of it. I thought that looked so pretty. And this is a Ruby and Pearl page. Now this represents all my favorites. This is chapter 1, Ruby and Pearl, Roxy, Roxy, Souvenir de la France, Souvenir de la France. So, love this green. I just think these greeny, I hope it shows up that way for you. It's just a very subtle and very old-fashioned green. Very pretty to me, and I love aqua. This is the other side of the Rachel paper, which I adore. I put a belly band on here, which this page I think looks beautiful without anything in the belly band. I would leave it this way if it were mine, but I thought this tag was gorgeous. I thought what I lined it with was gorgeous. And so I put that in there, and whoever gets it can do whatever they want with it. Put it in another journal, use it there. The pink picks up on the pink here, so I thought it did look pretty. And this lace picked up on this design. This is a fun piece. This is made with washi tapes. It's a pocket, so it's a side pocket here. But it's actually, I made it as a flip pocket. So if your journal were such that you wanted a flip and a pocket, I left it open and unglued so that you would have that option. I cut down an old envelope, and then with all these papers layered on it, it really stiffened it up. So this tucks in here, and I cut up an old letter from a soldier at Fort Benning on the East Coast to be the top. I think it goes so beautifully with the delicacy of that paper there. This is a toile. It's a reproduction toile. And I love the black on the beige with this document paper. And then this I took off of another journal. And I decided not to glue it down because I felt like you might have a better place for it. You might want to use it somewhere in this journal or somewhere else entirely. So I've attached it, as you can see, in this manner in hopes that you can find the right place for you. It could stay here, and you could even put paper and write under it. But I love the way this shell design comes down right at the top of this hanging thing. It just looks cool to me. Another ruby and pearl. I cut out, I had like a piece remaining, so I cut out 2 pieces that matched, and I put them on that page to kind of bring it all together. And then the toile shows a little bit over here. So that made it a page I like quite a bit. This is the other side of the Rock and Bell. And I referenced Marie Antoinette a minute ago. Well, here's the reason. Do I have to say it? Let her eat cake. I couldn't help myself. I was being silly. Had that, and I thought, I'll use it here. And this is a wonderful digital from a book I have. One of my favorite pictures from Ruby and Pearl. Just love it. Love this label. Chapter 1. Such tiny detail up there. I think this is, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's either the Ritz kit or Ruby and Pearl XL. This is more of that napkin on the back of my document, and this is a tag. A little piece of lace down here. This is the front of the document and a little card I made. This is more of that napkin and a little piece of lace. But the colors are really pretty. So now you see how clear it is here, but it looked kind of a yellow-green on the other page. Well, this is what it actually looks like. It's very much an aqua blue. And so you can see how much it changed by putting it on a cream-colored background. This is on the white back, and this is the cream. Isn't that amazing? Both are beautiful. I mean, really beautiful. Oops. I thought it was a lovely coloring with this pocket. This is the other side of that wonderful Ruby and Pearl. And again, the soft greens and how they blend into here. And then this wonderful Ritz with the darker green like her dress as well. The blue sky. Such a beautiful picture. And then again, the greens. And see how does this look green to you? This has a green cast to me, very much so. And probably under different circumstances it would look more beige, but with all this green around here, it looks green. And that beautiful old, sort of like Depression green, if you know that green I'm talking about. I love how this kind of blends and blends up there. Oh, I just think this is beautiful. But there's room for writing, plenty of room here and on the back. Another little piece of lace, label, towards crafting, Souvenir de la France. Put a piece of lace there, let it stand out a bit. So it's showing with some of the other pages behind it, which I thought was kind of fun. This is also from the Ritz kit. There's a couple of them that have women in their beautiful hats, and they're on a shopping trip for Bon Marche. I just would love to be in that shopping party. So fun. This is my document. This is one of the letters that you can print out from that kit. And they printed, there's white on here from the paper, so you cut that away, and then you see this little rip that was in the paper. I think that's so cute. You could put it on that side if you wanted to. That looks pretty as well. whichever side. And this is from, that's printed, and this is Sampool. This is the belly band. Didn't really want to cover up these ladies, but you could. This would be pretty over there. Added music paper. And here we have our ballerina. This is a piece of French fabric on top of a small button card on top of another card that came from Lisa and Olive. Labels from chapter 1. Souvenir. Piece of lace. Piece of reproduction fabric. Victorian ladies and the Ritz. And this is our final page, and it's that great big chunk of green silk velvet. It's that beautiful color of green, and it's gorgeous. You can see it's got this backing on it. It's just so soft, so silky, because it's silk, and it's old. It's 1930s, 1940s. And another piece of the onion skin paper with the flower remains. This aqua color is so beautiful, and this is more like a royal blue. Hope you can see that. And then this burgundy. And you can see all the other petals that are like in dots. It's just amazing. And this is also from TaylorMade. And then the back. So that's it. I hope you all enjoyed that flip through. Again, if you're interested in making a new home for this, I hope you'll contact me. You can connect through Instagram at Journal Breeze, and you can also connect through my website, which is also journalbreeze.com. All right? So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you stay well and healthy, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye.